Good evening and welcome back to my Dwarven Fortress of Esmulrakust, which is still under siege by zombies because, well, it's proving that they're proving, while very stupid, also quite difficult to tempt into the fortress. Plus, we're running out of bait. Because I think I just accidentally dematerialised a cat. So, yes, I can't quite remember what's going on because it's been a while. What were we doing? We're dealing with this siege. We're growing plenty of food. We have a decent number of people. We've been trying to set up some new bedrooms. Have we got spare bedrooms at the moment? We don't appear to have any spare bedrooms at the moment, so maybe we should make more bedrooms. And I think I suggested, when we were filling the entrance, the connection to the caverns with cage traps, in order that next time a mob of troglodytes try to come in, we'll just put them all in cages.
I didn't think you were going to say cave trolls then.
No.
Good. I mean, it was quite a distressing thought, really. Cage traps much better.
Yes. We do currently still have a blind cave ogre and a troglodyte whom we have attempted to expel by dropping them into a small piece of cavern that's connected to the world outside the fortress but not to anything else, and so far they haven't gone anywhere. So yes, so we want more bedrooms, do we? Okay. And yes, we would like to do something about these zombies. And we were doing this by chaining up kittens in the entrance hall. But it turns out that the kittens sometimes stand in the wrong place and then get splatted by the... on one occasion, one of them got killed by the zombie actually making it to the kitten before we could drop the zombie on the floor. And another one got killed by the drawbridge raising, I think, into the kitten or cat. I think we may not. I can't remember what our current cat versus kitten situation is. Okay, we only have adult cats at the moment. Obviously, we should keep breeding them for bait. So possibly we should actually prioritise using the gelded ones as bait. Which probably means that the zombies aren't going to voluntarily wander into the outer part of the fortress at the moment. We should clearly find some way to have a cat there that can be bait without actually being gettable by the zombies. Not quite sure how we would best do that. Possibly we have it a little bit further back. I mean, like, there isn't actually any reason... I mean, apart from the fact that we haven't got any convenient horizontal ground, that we couldn't have it a couple of squares back. If we wanted to. It would still not automatically survive, though. Yes. Anyway. So, and we've got a bunch of debris down there that we probably want to pick up and throw down our garbage disposal. Oh, and our garbage disposal doesn't work quite right, does it? It does hurl rubbish into the air occasionally. I had an idea for how to fix that, or at least for how to make a repeater without needing a windmill. Because in Keskalokil, I had a repeater that was a minecart trundling around a track driven by a windmill, and there were pressure plates at points around that minecart set up to operate the various parts of the rubbish disposal system. But the thing about windmills is that they have to be outside, and in Keskalokil, we didn't really have a strong distinction between inside and outside the fortress. And ultimately, that was what doomed the fortress. Well, that and the fact that we didn't have any defences at all at the back door. So here I don't want to have penetrations into the fortress. Though it now occurs to me, of course, that the one thing you can pass through the outside, through the wall of the fortress without zombies getting in through it, is a connection between a pressure plate and the thing it's operating. So we could have the entire repeater up there on the surface with a minecart that goes round and round and round, driven by a windmill. And as long as it's like in a different place from the, as long as it's only connected to the inside of the fortress by the magic magic pressure plate to flappy thing connectors, it would work. So I could do that actually. I had thought we could run a some kind of repeater off the light aquifer we've got, but maybe we don't need to. Anyway, I think I should temporarily close the front gate of the fortress. I think I should unpause, observe that the zombies are not actually coming in. Close the front gate and tidy up another batch of rubbish, by which I mean pieces of zombie. Not least because they're filling everything with miasma again. Curious, it appears that zombies don't really... I mean, are they rotting before death? Surely if they were rotting while they were shambling around, we should get miasma just forming off zombies. And yes, obviously we should. That would make it quite scary, though, because then you couldn't see where they were. But they don't seem to do that. Right, outer drawbridge. Pull the levers on the outer drawbridge. While we wait for that to happen, mark all of the zombie components for dumping. Right, the drawbridge has now been closed, so now we can open the inner drawbridge and allow the dwarves to start throwing things away. Don't dump the dolomite. Bits of dwarf corpse. Oh, and release the... oh no, it's already paused. The burrow, so that they're actually allowed in here. Dwarves are coming in here and picking things up. And indeed we can see, oh yes, there's one that's been dropped in the wrong place. Or rather has got hurled into the wrong place. So now someone will have to pick it up again and throw it down the hole. There is also, of course, the danger that dwarves will get hit by flying rubbish. Which will injure them and make them unhappy. Right, so that dwarf still had some cartilage left. Ooh, a steel warhammer, how nice. Also various trousers. Like, if people want them, they can have them. Actually, let's just unforbid everything in there because there's no good reason to forbid any of it. Yes, the stray cat tame has been vaporised, sorry. But it was a stray, no one cared about it. Yes, I think so. At least. The cat was there and then it wasn't. So I assume it was a drawbridge accident. Oh, do we still have a bit of rotted zombie stuck in this trap? We do. We don't seem to be getting like clean trap jobs scheduled. Maybe I just need to demolish that trap in order to get the zombie corpse out of it. Go on, let's demolish the trap so that we can get the corpse out. No, that corpse, those bits need dumping as well. Yeah, okay, it's going to get tedious redumping items like this, isn't it? They have now been splatted. Right, we've got that corpse out so we can dispose of it. Damn it, all of the weapons are now being carefully hauled off to a stockpile where I don't want them to be. I should have forbidden the weapons as soon as the thing was demolished. Now we have to wait a bit for them to be properly stockpiled and then attempt to build a new weapon trap there. There we go. And now one person is going to haul all of the weapons back, whereas when after the trap was demolished, they could see another item has not ended up properly dumped. I think that's another dwarf zombie falling out of a tree. And another. Anyway, bedrooms. We need more bedrooms because all our bedrooms are currently occupied. And that means that there's probably someone out there who doesn't have one. I've just remembered I haven't got the game log going anywhere. Let's do that. Right, just in case anyone wants it, but there's nothing very exciting happening. Right, so let's set up a couple more bedrooms down here. I don't really know which are the best beds. And a door. Right, there we go. That way slightly more people will have a bedroom to call their own. Great bedroom, causing bliss to children. Which is probably good. So, do we attempt to tempt the zombies in with another cat? It's probably for the best. I mean, it is working slowly. Oh, we need to finish building that weapon trap first, of course. So I kind of think, and I seem to remember someone agreeing with me last session that we might want to try experimenting with siege engines against these zombies. I'm just trying to think about how we do this. Thing is that while I like bolt throwers, I'm a bit suspicious that it might turn out that they are not much use against zombies, because like crossbows don't seem like the kind of thing that's going to work against a creature that doesn't really care about minor injury and that doesn't really need its blood, where essentially the only thing that'll kill them is being mashed. So possibly we should try catapults. While I'm blithering, let's watch the person who's building the cage trap, or not the cage trap, the weapon trap. Because catapults throw boulders, and a boulder hitting you is probably going to be a good way to smash important parts of your anatomy, which is basically the only way to kill a zombie. Though I'm kind of a bit dubious about whether we have enough rock to do this reliably, so possibly we need to spend some time training siege engineers anyway. And as far as I know, the skills are the same for both catapults and bolt throwers. I don't know which one, like bolt throwers obviously fire a lot faster than catapults, but I don't know whether you get like the same amount of skill gain per shot when practicing with one or with catapults that you do with bolt throwers. So possibly we should set up. Pinkby says, "Can't you dig up rocks? The earth is full of them." It is. It's true. And to be fair, we don't have as much goblinite as we had in the last fortress. But it does take effort to dig up the rocks. So I suppose I think catapults are like bolt throwers, and unlike ballistae, quite safe, as in they won't in general hit the wrong people. But I'm not sure. But maybe we should set ourselves up a little like catapult training area, so that people can practice with catapults, and then we can work out like how well they work. I think like bolt throwers, if they're, and indeed like ballistae, if the projectile hits a wall and then drops at least one Z level, it will not be destroyed, and so you can set up a kind of catapult tennis court where the two sides each throw boulders to the other. So I think we should set to work on siege engines. I don't think we have foam boulders. I mean, we've yeah, I think coal is probably one of the lighter materials we have. We've got jet. Jet is probably quite light, as I recall, by stone standards. So how big is a siege engineer's workshop? I think it's quite big, isn't it? Yes. Like, we can fit one in there, if we don't mind removing a small part of the wood stockpile first. I mean, or we could extend this room a bit, but it'll fit there. We need to remove that edge of the wood stockpile. we've now, what are you doing in that doorway, child? We've now constructed those 2 bedrooms, or at least fitted them out. So now we can declare them to be officially bedrooms. So that gives 2 more people places to sleep. Yes, our bedrooms are causing people bliss, which is nice. So I think it's probably going to be a while before we've got siege engineers competent to actually engineer sieges, because we're going to need to build some catapults first. We'll do it as a work order, partly because I do almost everything as a work order. I think we want 2 practice catapults. So let's go for 9, so that we can have 2 practice catapults, 1 live catapult, and see how that does. There'll be a short delay while everyone is drinking. While our manager, we do have a manager, don't we? We need a new bookkeeper, of course. Let's pull our novice record keeper in and assign them to the bookkeeper's office. So the manager is now, has no job. He's just randomly hanging around, leaving seeds on their chair. Yes, but that work order should commence shortly. I suppose we're going to need to do some digging to make somewhere to actually install these catapults, aren't we? So given that this is a kind of quasi-military thing, catapults, let's put them off to the side of the barracks. So I think we should have enough space for a catapult on each side, and then a space in the middle that the boulders fly through, and then a trench at each end. That's where the stones get collected. That will probably officially be a small stone stockpile on each side. And there's nothing below that, so that should be safe. Meanwhile, let's chain up another cat in the hope that we can use them to tempt in at least a few more zombies. Miss Lemon does not approve of my use of cats to tempt zombies. I try not to kill the cats or let them get killed. We have struck pyrite. It's down there. Yeah, I think I'm willing to mine out some pyrite gems. So can I... Oh no, we should wait until we've got both of them in place. We've struck onyx. Okay, okay, we'll mine the onyx as well. I mean, I don't want to go too far forward, or this will digging into here will be a way into the fortress, but we've struck cherry opal. This is getting silly. There's like this enormous quantity of gems down here. Right, have you finished now? Good. Right, now let's create... Can I make a stockpile there and there? Which will take some kinds of stone. Wondering if we've got enough jet that I can just say jet, because that will make it, that will probably make it quicker to train. Oh, no wheelbarrows, not worth the hassle. Okay, maybe we don't actually have enough loose jet around. I mean, these ones aren't going to consume their rocks, so it would be perfectly reasonable to do it with with the dolomite that we might eventually use as a flux stone. Yeah, okay, I don't think we have a supply of jet available. So we are making catapult parts. Zombies are still falling out of trees. At least it looks like they're falling out of trees. So let's see if we can construct a catapult yet. Catapult's orientation cannot be changed once it is placed. So let's set up one on this side that fires to the left. Don't think I care which parts get used. And one on this side that fires to the right. I mean, they do have qualities, I suppose, so I should take the worst three for these catapults. But we currently have those 2 bedrooms still unoccupied, so I don't need to worry about making more yet. Right, one catapult built. So we can't set a catapult to draw from a particular stockpile. Um, oh right, it would prefer having archery targets. Well, maybe we should install an archery target at each end then. Just dig a small hole in the wall and stick an archery target behind it. In it, rather. Then we will get to experience how dangerous these things are and work out whether this is a sensible plan. Oh, I think the other one might not be accessible because there's this hole in this wall down here. Let's put a wall back. Put that wall back. Meanwhile, let's try. That one's already in practice mode. Excellent. Right, so our mechanic here is loading the catapult. Apparently still loading the catapult. And just fired it. And like no one died, which is nice. Oh right, the rule apparently is you can only load a catapult with non-economic boulders. Maybe we need to turn no, I don't really want to use all of my dolomite for this. But the shale did correctly get hurled across there and survive. Let's build another archery target. So that means we probably don't actually want that stockpile to be set to those stones. We should just set it to other stone. And maybe mine out some more so that we have some. I mean, to an extent, one of our problems is that we have an awful lot of calcium carbonate lying around. We have an awful lot of gypsum lying around as well. I mean, we're trying not to end up with lots of broken bones. So possibly we could get away with taking gypsum off the economic list for now.
Also good for brewing beer.
Dwarves, slightly surprisingly, don't know how to brew beer out of stone.
Well, I was mostly meaning that, you keep your water in it.
So now we have the problem that
Beer
those stockpiles are full. That's fine actually, because a few lumps of gypsum will get used for Catapult 3. And then they'll be in the stockpiles. The important thing is we don't want things removed from the stockpiles. So we could actually go inspect the gypsum that this person is hauling. And if we follow that gypsum, we can watch it going very rapidly across and into a stockpile. Right, so yeah, we really need someone to operate each of these catapults, because otherwise... So I think someone has declared themselves to be the person who's going to be one of our siege engineers, haven't they? Right. Let's wait a little bit longer and let them learn and see if anyone else puts themselves forward. But we definitely have someone who's... Why are you sleeping there? I bet there are still some bedrooms available. Yeah, there are 2 bedrooms available downstairs. Right. Our peasant has become a siege operator after only about 4 instances of hurling rocks across the room. This is not bad. Let's just check that... Well, I think I've turned off the burrow anyway, but let's just check the burrow extends to include all of the bedrooms. It does. And quite a bit of odd mine. So that cat is in kind of the right place, except that if it's there when we raise the drawbridge, it will die. Maybe we need to make a slightly bigger alcove to store the cat in. I mean, sometimes it's out of the way. Anyway, I think we can now let the zombies in. So let's close the inner drawbridge. That's the inner drawbridge closed. So we can open the outer drawbridge. Yes, we do have a bit of a shortage of non-economic stone, in part because we haven't because a lot of the levels are full of calcium carbonate or similar. So we haven't been able to find a lot of non-economic stone. This is in part a problem with this version of Dwarf Fortress, that it's so generous with the minerals that you don't actually have much cause to spend time digging out non-economic stone. Because you don't have to put any effort into finding minerals and useful minerals. Though I think maybe, like, as a start, what we should do is finish digging out all of the bits that we've designed in the stockpiles at least. But that will mostly get me more dolomite, which is not the most helpful thing.
What is dolomite actually useful for?
Dolomite is a flux stone, so it's good for making iron.
Right.
Basically, anything that's calcium carbonate is useful for iron making.
Right. Flux stone sounds only slightly more real than springe stone. It has to be said.
I know flux is definitely real. I've just noticed that I was paying zero attention to what was happening while I opened the drawbridge, but none of the zombies have actually got to the cat yet. Oh, is one coming? Not as far as I can see. Kittens! Excellent, we can use kittens next time. Kittens are much more appropriate for tempting zombies.
Despite Miss Lemon's disapproval.
Oh, maybe Miss Lemon doesn't like kittens. Maybe she only likes them when they've grown up.
Is she the anti-Vando?
It's possible.
I was thinking that as well.
Oh, the zombies are slowly heading somewhere. Whether it's anywhere I want them to be is another matter. Our siege operator has made it to both, has managed to achieve both competence and thirst. Might have to. I think that there did seem to be a bit of a problem before that they treat like training as hugely important, and so they will fail to drink while doing it. I mean, probably not actually drop dead of thirst, but. Oh, oh, the cat is in trouble. Pull the lever, pull the lever. Hope there's someone around. Oh dear. Poor cat. Okay, we accidentally vaporised that hammer dwarf that time. Not a hammer dwarf, not one of our hammer dwarves.
Zombie.
A zombie hammer dwarf. The cat didn't get vaporised, but did get killed.
So can you work out how to
Pink Beast says, I'm glad my life does not depend on the whims of some lever-pulling dwarf. I mean, let's leave the gates open and see if someone actually turns up. But oh, we should put this one into training mode as well. Then maybe we would actually get a second person operating it. Oh, another person who is currently officially a peasant. Okay, that was too dangerous. Like, possibly fatally dangerous. Right, I'm going to turn those back to off, by which I mean load but don't fire. Because apparently if you have, it turns out that in this version, if you have two catapults facing one another, they will hit things in their path. So they may actually be as dangerous as ballistae, though easier to provide for. This may require some urgent medical attention.
Do you have a working hospital?
It should do.
Obviously, it's a reasonably high priority because, you know, wolves. But...
Like, I just hope they're not going to lose so much blood that things are problematic. They may not be bleeding much now. Okay, he's not currently bleeding and not dead. Yes, yes. I think that's what happens when you get hit by a boulder. Yes, yes. I mean, and we have quite a lot of surgery scheduled for getting back to recognition again, getting back to recognisability again. But yes, there is an entire pool of blood down there in the stockpile. So I assume someone is now going to assign themselves to cleaning that patient. Yes. Actually, have we ever got round to sorting out soap? We really should do that. I am now going to pay too much attention to the healthcare of this poor dwarf, who was reached faint. But there's no blood there, so might survive. Oh, we haven't got any traction benches. Make traction benches. Well, I mean, only one for now. All of our tables are highly decorated. We might end up with quite an exciting traction bench. Actually, when I say only one for now, let's make 2. Right, there is surgery ongoing. Smear of blood there. Compound fracture of left foot repaired. Compound fracture of right upper arm repaired. Oh dear, I never finished sorting out someone's guild hall. I got distracted. Did we sort out that temple? Agreed to build a temple. We need to get the value of that up still. Or its doors any good? Yeah, that's a pretty good door actually. But I mean 300, not a bad value of door anyway. 300 for that one as well. Can we find some like 1000 level doors? Apparently, no. I think we need to dig out. Oh, that willow bed. I mean, it would be a bit silly installing a bed in a temple, but it is quite a valuable bed. Star dash willow bed. Ooh. So in order to make this temple adequate, I'm going to install some beds in it. At least temporarily. I think that's all the best furniture we've got. See how close that gets us. Right, we need about 1000 more value. How's our unfortunate patient doing? They've had to be evaluated again. So the surgery is complete now. Right upper arm needs various bits need cleaning again, and then a lot of suturing, some bone setting, some dressings, some immobilisation.
If only you were the medical capital of this world.
Yes, well, we're not bad. Just we're not in the situation where absolutely everyone is a legendary doctor.
Or legendary bone setter or whatever it is, I can't remember what.
So we have learned that catapults are dangerous in a way that bolt throwers apparently aren't. Like, you can totally stand in front of a bolt thrower. See, there's some suturing. You can totally stand in front of a bolt thrower while it's being fired at ludicrous rates and not get hurt. But it would appear that standing in front of a catapult while it's being fired gets you into trouble. Right, the zombies are really not bothering to come in when there isn't a cat to play with, are they? So let's operate all the levers again. Right, lots of suturing, lots of bone setting. Have we got a traction bench yet? Need traction bench. Are we getting... Oh, I should have clicked the other button on that. Are we getting job cancellations for our traction benches? Because we're missing some critical piece of equipment. Is the manager somehow distracted? Manager isn't in military mode, so why is the manager not managing? That is the manager's office. It is properly the manager's office. Well, for now, let's just manually say make a traction bench and see what happens. Because we're kind of going to need one shortly. We're going to need to make quite a lot of plaster first, but here comes someone with a table. No available traction bench. Yes, we're working on it.
Make sure the person with the table doesn't drop it.
Don't think they're going to happily. It's going to be quite a nice traction bench.
I'm not sure I want my traction bench to menace with spikes.
Everything should menace with spikes.
At least they should point away from the patient.
Right. I have no idea. Patience, here comes the traction bench. Right, now you can put them in the traction bench. P.S. Is someone going to clean up that blood anytime soon? What are you doing? Nothing, okay. I want to see someone put this person in the traction bench. Oh yes, we should dispose of the dead cat. Right, dwarf installed in traction bench.
What can possibly go wrong?
Right, so dressings installed, placed in traction. Does not appear to be equipped with plaster casts at the moment. Don't know if that gets done after they get put in the traction bench, or maybe even after they're taken out of the traction bench. I assume someone will bring them like food and drink and such. He says that someone does actually appear to be, oh no, maybe not. Oh. I think that's kind of all of the value of the decoration on the table seems to have been lost by converting it into a traction bench. How sad. I shall have to ensure that the next one is made out of an undecorated pile of stuff.
You don't get any bonuses for having the blingiest traction bench in the world.
Well, I mean, I think you might, but only if you put the decorations on after you've turned it into a traction bench.
Right, okay, fine.
All right, now we're sorting out the plaster casts. Good. So we have like various dressings and sutures and plaster casts being installed. Well, installed mostly. One final cast. And now I think there is no treatment needed other than to stay there until the wounds heal, and possibly until you like get back up to the normal quantity of blood. Right, open the inner drawbridge. So I think for future traction benches, we should have a tiny table stockpile here that just feeds the workshop where you can make traction benches. Oh, but that's probably not actually bad. It doesn't. But then there's nowhere to put the rocks that we're feeding it with. Well, we can always switch over the sources when we actually want to make things, and that then tables that end up there will not get blinged. Then we could add traction benches to the list of things that can be blinged, of course. Like that. Of course, this might need me to make spurious extra tables for this to work. But that stockpile is closer to the place where we would make the tables, so... If our manager actually does anything, that should sort that out. Yes, you were still afraid and shaken after the experience of someone firing a catapult at you.
I mean, fair enough.
But content and content after being able to rest and recuperate, and satisfied after receiving water. So we'll probably feel little bit better soon once you've regenerated some blood. Right, so meanwhile, what we have learned is that having the two catapults facing one another is a terrible idea in this version of Dwarf Fortress. So I think we should thus demolish one of the catapults for safety. Right, the dead cat has been got rid of. I think we're consuming cats too fast here. So I think we want to make it slightly harder for them to get splatted by the drawbridge at the very least. I think that's best. That's most minimally dealt with by going one square back into the wall. And we need to, if we've declared gypsum to be at least temporarily non-economic, we of course also need it to be in that stockpile. So that we can actually use it for anything. All right, I was going, why haven't we dug out any of the microcline down here? The answer is because this is the level. Oh, no. Why haven't we? This floor I'm not using, but I can't currently come up with a reason why not. Because I think I know the reason why not. Yes, it's because this floor is where the forges are, and we might want to power them with magma, which would mean having a hole in the floor. And so we want the layer below to be available to us. Right, so now let's attach a fresh kitten. So the kitten tied up here should be unable to get into a position where it can be destroyed by the drawbridge. We do, of course, still need to try to arrange that the zombies don't reach it. Right, no longer faint. So his state is improving. Fractured, but mostly now looks like a dwarf. Looks like most of the dressings and casts have been removed. mostly just need a bit more traction.
Wait a minute, was that the same dwarf who was completely mangled? And
Yes,
that wasn't quick.
dwarven surgery is pretty good.
I mean, it did say that dwarf was quick to heal, but they've delivered.
Right, so I think we can, however, turn on the one remaining catapult, because I don't think, like, it doesn't seem to be terribly killing people. Let's adjust the labours, though, so that we actually have a new work detail for siege operators. Oh no, we already have a work detail for siege operators. Don't need to create a new one. Let us, how do we delete it? Like that, yes. But they're up to skilled already. And probably getting quite strong too. Okay, slightly worried by the fact that someone is coming into the room, so I'm going to temporarily suspend firing while that's sorted. Hang on, why have you started improving gypsum tables? They're not meant to be improvable. Where did you get the... Oh, the gypsum table ended up being put in the wrong stockpile, apparently. Right, meanwhile, let's get some more zombies in. And think about where we're going to install a catapult to shoot them while they're outside. Like, I think if I make a whole, a little room here, we could use that. The only slight question is, how do we... how do we connect it up to the rest of the fortress without it forming too much of an easy way in? This isn't so much of a problem while we have only zombies out there, because zombies are quite stupid. But once we start getting goblins, it might be a bit more entertaining. So, but I think mostly it's already going to be quite difficult for anyone to get at the wall here to get in, because that wall is at least meant to be unclimbable, and it has a bunch of spikes at the bottom, so if you try, you'll end up impaled. So yeah, I think it's probably not that dangerous, and we can start putting in like reinforced walls along here to make it harder to dig in through that side. And yeah, that means we want it to be... not sure I really want to be building the tunnel to it from... Oh, I deliberately made that an up-down staircase. Possibly actually the thing to do is to have then a nexus up here that's where the connections to the defences go, and then we can make that defensible in various ways if it seems useful to do so. Kind of going, do we go up another Z level here? No, let's stay as far away from the outside world as we can, and only go close to the outside world when we get to near to where we have to be close to the outside world. So we're going to want a room where we can install a catapult here, I think. And it will probably then want a bit of space behind it for storing rocks. And then I suppose we could just have a little staircase down in that corner. No, that's silly, Ben. Let's have a little staircase further away so that it's not right next to somewhere where somewhere where the goblins are going to come in. Right. Meanwhile, we are kind of trying to organise things to let the zombies in again, aren't we? Yes. So let's close the inner drawbridge. Ooh. I mean, this is probably outside the burrow, and we want to edit the burrow anyway. All right, yes, but the burrow is suspended, so it's kind of weird that no one is doing any mining. All my miners are meditating. Is this helpful? I mean, it's probably kind of helpful. But it might also be kind of helpful if they could come and do some mining. Assuming, of course, that there isn't some stupid reason why they can't dig that staircase. I can't think of one. Like, being able to dig a upward staircase is obviously a useful thing to be able to do. Are you repeatedly going off and getting new gypsum? It doesn't look like it, actually. I mean, I'm quite pleased by the fact that we did, in a sense, by the fact that we did end up seriously injuring someone by accident with a catapult, because that does suggest that catapults are dangerous and thus might be effective against people who we do actually want to injure.
Totally clear. This catapult has a right end and a wrong end.
Yes. Right. What levers next? Open the outer drawbridge. Yes. That should tempt in some zombies again. I think there is something going wrong with digging this staircase out. So I'm going to do a slightly silly thing and dig an upward ramp in the hospital that should come up next to the staircase. Next to the corridor, rather. And then we'll fill that in once we've managed to get the thing dug out in the correct way. Right, we found some jet now.
Shiny and nice.
Well, it's all black and nice.
Doesn't say it doesn't look shiny.
Right, zombies are heading towards the fortress again. Good. Slowly, as they do. Right, those staircases definitely work now that they've been built. Just for some reason they couldn't be built.
Both so expensive. Esmulrakust.
Oh dear, we never managed to get that temple built properly either. How annoying. Oh well. I mean, I did try, but I didn't manage to get enough good furniture in time. So you note here the upward staircase on the lower level and the downward staircase on the upper level get dug out separately. Kitten's still alive. Oh, another strange mood.
Possessed.
Yes, that means they don't learn any skills from this
Oh, that's unfortunate.
because they're essentially under someone else's control.
Is that because we're near a necromancer, or is it
I don't know. I think it's like fairly common. Like it seems to be about half of my strange moods end up being possession rather than a fey mood or whatever. If they're particularly unhappy, you get more unpleasant kinds of mood, where they like murder someone and use their bones for constructing things. Are you short of some kind of cloth then? As you're saying, stone, which you've just got, cloth, leather, metal. That's a bit worrying. I should investigate what kinds of cloth we've got. Right, we have a space now that could be used to install a catapult. Can't actually fire yet, in that there isn't, in that we need a way for things that it fires to get out through the wall. But we should be able to do that by carving fortifications. I think there at least. Right, let's look at the cloth situation. Right, the only cloth we have is pigtail cloth, i.e. made from plants. So presumably we need either silk or wool cloth. We have some silk thread and lots of it. If we want silk thread, we can get it from the caverns. We have no wool thread and no wool cloth, and I think no animals we can shear. So let's hope that we need silk. Don't think goats give you usable, something cloth usable. Let's just press the shear animal button and see if there are any shearable animals. Nope. So that means we're going to try building a loom and making some cloth, some silk cloth. So now let's try building a catapult in there. I think we want to actually face it. What directions do these mean? That's obviously north. That must be northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest. Let's set it up to face northwest. Use the best quality catapult parts we have.
See you tomorrow.
And set up a stockpile there for stone, which should be all non-economic stone and also gypsum, because we're currently treating that as non-economic. It should definitely allow wheelbarrows, possibly 2 of them for rapid loading. Let's turn off automatic looming of thread though, before it starts happening. Another zombie falling out of a tree. Can't construct the loom because there's something blocking the site. Is there now? Does appear to be, yes, a piece of forbidden dwarf there, dwarf corpse there. Resume construction. Try resuming again. Oh damn it, I did this in the wrong order. While Actually, I think I know how I can fix this. While siege operators tend not to get scared of enemies because, like, part of their job is to go and do slightly dangerous things, people building catapults do get scared. And so they now can't build the catapults because they can see the zombies outside. That also probably means that this stockpile won't work very well, because dwarves who try to fill it up will keep getting terrified of the zombies outside, or whatever the attackers are. Possibly thus I should have set up, or should set up, a drawbridge somewhere that hides the enemy. Look, we've got a kitten in here for you. Come and say hello to our kitten. Yes, I think probably I need to raise the drawbridges in order to get the zombies to go away. Oh no, maybe we'll get away with it. Nearly done. Yeah, the zombies are too close at the moment. But not so close that I can actually kill them. Wait a bit. See if any of them come inside for me. I mean, I think for the stockpile, what I need to do is to put the stockpile on a Z level below, so that dwarves filling the stockpile can't see the zombies at all, or whatever the enemies are, whatever enemies we have that day. I mean, they're clearly a bit tempted by this kitten, but not quite tempted enough. Well, let's dig out an area on the floor below. That could be used to store rocks. Looks like the zombies have wandered off for a bit, but not actually inside to attack the kitten. Oh, they're coming back. See if we can finish this catapult while the zombies are not visible, if they're not visible. Right, that's a catapult finished. Let's try setting it into fire at enemies mode then. I don't know if this is going to work, but how better to test it than by testing it? Here is our siege operator, who is playing with the other catapult. Okay, let's put that catapult into not in use mode then. Our siege operator has gone off to drink, so I will just watch the zombies for a bit. Meanwhile, have we got that loom built yet? Ooh, we're beginning to get a bit of lag. Yeah, I'm going to have to stop soon.
Running out of processing power.
Yes, but let's try making some silk cloth. Yes, so our siege operator is eating. Doesn't appear to be tired, so we might get them to do something. Oh dear, needs one unused collected silk thread. Right, I think we have a shortage of thread, possibly because it's currently tied up in the hospital. So let's temporarily, by which I mean I will forget that I've done this, adjust the hospital numbers to say we can do without thread in the hospital. That might then mean that we can make some silk cloth. Our siege operator is now asleep. Now, I think the silk thread has got stuck in the hospital, right? So in order to fix that, I think possibly the simplest thing is to let the dwarves out into the caverns to farm silk thread. Don't know of anything dangerous down there at the moment. Steph asks, can you blindfold dwarves? No, don't think so. But it is possible to... What are you doing? Not a lot. It is possible for dwarves to be blind, of course. Suitable accidents might cause this. But I don't think I'm going to try to organise that. Right. Someone is now off collecting webs from the caverns in order to provide us with some silk. I think you don't have to spin the silk. So I think this is a reasonably efficient process. Yes, so that's immediately turned into cave spider silk thread. which then gets hauled up to the loom. Can I then immediately add a weave thread into silk job and expect it to work? Apparently so. So now the thread is being woven into cloth. Yes, I think a blind dwarf would indeed be less scared of zombies.
Well, right up until the point when the zombies
Oh.
are close enough for you to hear.
That's not a good sign. There's a forgotten beast in the caverns that has just killed someone. Well, I mean, I think that the fact that my population is 44 indicates that. Right. Well, let's see how things are going for that cloth. Did it work? Cloth is not marked as being in use for a task, which makes me fear that our moody dwarf wants wool cloth, which we have not got. Right, I'm going to try to work out if there are any... Right, the forgotten beast is actually in the lower barbican. That's quite bad. Let us attempt to close the lower barbican inner bridge. Yes, it turned out the forgotten beast was out there after all. I fear that the forgotten beast will not be slowed by our cage traps. Which makes me think that what I might want to do... So let's have a quick look. There's probably no one in the caverns. Because the only reason to be there, well, someone has brought in some rock, but the only reason to be there was to be collecting webs, and only one person could be doing that, and I bet that was the person who just got killed. Certainly you can't see any tasks that look like that. So as a fallback, what I'm going to do is take advantage of this person currently hauling that rutile. Let's make sure it's actually properly forbidden. Require it to be dropped. Then unforbid it. Oh, actually, we don't need that rutile anyway. There's a piece of stone there. And build a wall. Actually, we should have let them carry it, shouldn't we? Let's unforbid that because there's some there's some limestone there that we could better use for this. Build a wall there out of why does the limestone not appear on that list? Is it because it's treated as economic stone and we can't build walls out of economic stone? That's kind of inconvenient. Well, in that case, we'll build the wall out of the rutile. So essentially wall in our cavern quickly. Oh, the Forgotten Beast is going the wrong way, at least briefly. Maybe we will be fine. Huh. I'm not highly optimistic about that. In particular, we're getting someone who's going to... We have lost someone to the caverns, and our moody dwarf is still in trouble. All right, this wall is about to get built. We might have a chance. So the Forgotten Beast is heading in quite quickly. No, child, don't go that way. Like, either we're going to wall you in there. Okay, no, person with child, don't go that way. Let's quickly mark that area as not part of the main burrow. I hope that they will leave. And unpause the burrow. Oh, good. The drawbridge is closed. Right, we don't need to worry about that. The Forgotten Beast was 2 squares away from the drawbridge. Suspend construction of that wall at least until people are on the correct side of it. Right. Yes. But the drawbridge should be perfectly adequate for keeping the Forgotten Beast out. So we still have a problem that we have no wool at all. And I think, given that we now have some... Let's turn off auto collect webs as well. Given that we now have some silk cloth that is not assigned to any purpose, and presumably someone is still complaining about lack of cloth. I'm assuming that cloth thread means cloth rather than thread, but maybe I should have made some thread, but surely the thread would have got grabbed by that task anyway. But I think we should run for a little while longer because our siege operator is currently loading the catapult. And might then fire it. Right. Well, that did something. This is a spear dwarf who has fallen out of trees occasionally. The spinning shale strikes the spear dwarf in the upper body, bruising the muscle and bruising the liver, crushes the neck, smashes the upper left leg, shatters the bone in the upper left leg, smashes the upper right leg, and tears apart the right lung. So, like, that zombie there, which hasn't yet fallen over, but presumably will quite soon, I mean, was already in a bit of a mess, having mostly rotted away, but now also has, like, at least some bits mangled beyond recognition. Sadly, not a bit that that actually will kill a zombie, but like it was a hit. I'm slightly wondering where that boulder went, but yes, that was like success in a sense. That was not a success, and the boulder ended up somewhere over here. Possibly off the map. Yes, good, you cancelled collect webs. So, yes, I think our catapult is not going to be a highly efficient way of killing zombies, but it looks like it might work occasionally, and at least it, like, costs rocks rather than kittens. Plus, the zombies seem to be being even less willing to enter the fortress now. Unlike certain forgotten beasts. So, yes, I think that's a good point at which to stop, not least because X-Wayland has randomly inflated to 31 gigabytes. So I will wind up now, and next time we will have to think about the concept of wool. Really, we need to end this siege because the only way we're going to get wool is by trading. Meanwhile, we're going to probably want to actually organise some better military. I mean, admittedly, Forgotten Beasts are pretty terrifying at the best of times. So possibly I might actually want to do like siege engines down in the caverns to try to capture. Where's the Forgotten Beast gone anyway? Try to like catch the Forgotten Beast and then shoot it repeatedly. I think the Forgotten Beast has left the lower Barbican now, so we can at least bury the dead. And then we can think about what we do to defeat a Forgotten Beast that, if we stray into the caverns for too long, will grab us. And I think the answer probably involves more siege engines. So, we will see you on Sunday, and until then I will save and say good night. Good night.